I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. So we're 2 days away from the final season of Lost in Space streaming on Netflix. How does it feel?
Crazy. At this point, we've waited so long that it doesn't feel real. Like I haven't quite processed that it's so close. But
Right.
I'm sure I'll be overwhelmed soon.
Yeah. So I've seen the first 4 episodes of this season, and Penny's going through a lot, I have to say. But then by the fourth episode, she's really starting to come into her own and establish her place without spoiling anything. So, what have been some of your favorite Penny moments from this season or previous seasons?
Ooh, I really like I've always liked when she just gets pushed a little bit beyond her comfort zone and has to figure out what to do. I think it's really interesting to watch her internal spiral work and see all the gears turning in a different way because she's the writer in a very science oriented family. The way she thinks is often different from how everyone around her thinks. So I love all of the moments where she has to do something new, even if she doesn't want to, and there's no other option.
Yes.
And there are quite a few of those this season, so it's great.
Yes. And I'd say I love the rock climbing scene. That must have been really tough. And then I loved your emotional scene with Judy in episode 1. So, what have been some of your favorite scenes to shoot without spoiling too much?
Yeah, without spoiling anything. All of the rock climbing stuff was so much fun. I'd never done that before. We did a lot of wire work and we had some stunt training to work with our balance and how to get up the wall. And when they said rock climbing, somehow in my brain, I'd pictured the wall with the colorful rocks that were very easy for you to stand on. But that was not the case. And they'd really built a wall that looked quite like rock and you had to find your footing. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of like playing very extreme imaginary dress up every day. But so many of my favorite scenes are a little bit later in the season. I do love a lot of Penny and Will's scenes together, especially in a few episodes after the first episode and kind of the journey they go on. Yeah.
Yeah. And I read that you got to celebrate your birthday on set. What was that like?
Yeah, it was good. It's the second birthday I've done on that show. So now it's kind of a recurring theme. It was great. Because of COVID, it was a little different, but I was so happy to be able to be with my second family and be surrounded by people that I love. And it was a really good day.
Aw. And now tell me about filming your final scene. What was that like?
It was very emotional and there was a lot of crying that followed. It was funny. There was one moment like right before the final scene that I had twisted my ankle, which I keep laughing because it's just the stupidest thing that could have possibly happened. But I twisted my ankle right before we shot the final scene. And so I was kind of like limping through the final scene and I had to run out of the shot. So there was a whole complicated thing that had to happen. And everybody was like, of course this happens on the last day. So there was a lot of kind of adrenaline pumping problem solving. And then almost in a flash it was over and then it was very bittersweet.
Aw. So we spoke to Charles a few days ago, who plays Liam, and he said
Yeah.
that you're very philosophical, and he loves philosophical discussions. So A, I want to know like what kind of discussions you guys were having, and B, what was it like working with him and then AJ again?
That is hilarious. Yes, Charles, Ajay, and I had a lot of fun. There were many days of just running jokes that would go for a long time, and I guess they got pretty philosophical. But it was great. I loved bringing Charles in and getting to work with him. I mean, you've met him. He's so kind and so lovely, and very fun to work with. And then adding that layer for VJ and Penny was exciting because there was drama. But I love Ajay, and Ajay has always been fantastic to be around. So I was excited to get to work with him again. but overall it was very fun. It's hilarious that philosophical was the word he chose.
Yes, that was the first word he chose. I'm like, I want to know more about this.
That's amazing.
So I also read that you used to store your glasses and your phone on the Jupiter 2 set. So did you get to keep anything from set or want to keep anything from set?
I did get to keep a few things. I did have a specific drawer on the Jupiter 2 where my glasses and my phone would go. I took the book. I took Penny's book, which made me very happy. And I took some costumes because outside of the spacesuits as well, Penny always had a very cool sense of style. I was like, I want this. And then I was given one of the wrist devices. So I have one of those as well. It was very cool. I also think at one point after season 2, I somehow ended up with like 1 or 2 of the buttons from the hub, which is very random, but I also have that.
You didn't get to keep the chicken.
No, I wish. I wish.
So tell me about what did you like best about working with Max and Molly and Taylor and Toby and Parker and Ignacio?
They really are like family, honestly. And at this point, we've done 3 seasons, but we've known each other for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I spent 5 very formative years, 15 to 20, kind of with that group of people. And for all of them, I could give you a list that goes on and on about what I love about each of them. We could be here all day, but really the dynamic that we established off camera as well as on camera just is very warm and loving and familial. And I look up to the adults on our show a lot. And I spent all 3 seasons absorbing as much as I could from them and asking all of the annoying questions. And Max and Taylor, we grew up together in a way. Max and I were the youngest, of course. And so we did school together when I was still in high school. And I just really loved the experience of getting to know each other that well and getting to spend that much time with that group of people.
Yeah. And you two grew as your characters, really, because you're the same age.
Yeah, exactly. With the time jumps too. It was really cool to see that I was scared that I was going to get older than Penny because of the amount of time that the show takes for the VFX. But with each time jump, we've kind of stayed in the same world, which has been fun.
Yeah. I love that Parker has a line how it's annoying that Max is taller than her now.
Yeah, I feel that every day. Every time I see him, he's growing. And it's so annoying because somehow I'm not. So
I love it. So what's been some of the fan reactions that have stayed with you? People love Penny. They love Lost in Space.
Yeah, it's been honestly all of it. I see it all. Anything I'm always makes me really happy and makes me feel really good. And with a reboot, you never know. So in the beginning, we didn't know what the reaction would be. But I see the art and the stories and the love and the jokes and the memes, all of it. It's just been warm and welcoming, and they really embrace us with open arms. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I love seeing the families that watch it together too. It's cute.
That is my favorite reaction when there are kids that come up and say that I can watch this with my parents and my grandparents, or there are parents that say, you know, I grew up on the original and now I can watch this with my son or daughter or children. And it just makes me feel so good because that's what the show is about, that it's a family show. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so finally, what have you been watching lately that you've been really into?
Ooh, I just binge watched Killing Eve, which is fantastic.
So good.
And everyone in that show I love so much. What else have I been watching lately? I watched a lot of Sherlock. Yeah, I think those are my top 2 right now.
Yeah, good choices. I know I have to think back. I'm like, what did I watch? I know I've been watching stuff, but I can't remember.
Yeah, after 2 years almost, it's like it's so much that I don't even remember what the last one was.
Totally. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your art, Mina. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for people to see this season. I can't wait for us to see this season.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.